Hi, my name is Kara Richards, and my research presentation is on managing relationships from Chapter 19. My research question: how can we build positive relationships as coaches with parents? My research presentation question is related to Chapter 19 because the author states you become a coach of positive influence when you demonstrate that you care about others through meaningful relationships and when you act with integrity, which earns trust. Coaches fail less often because they lack knowledge of technical and tactical skills in their sport, but because of lack of skill in managing relationships with sport administrators, parents of athletes, their assistant coaches, or media. Today's generation of parents are different from sports parents in the past. Parents today put importance on being deeply involved with child's athletic department and have a need to protect them from failure. These parents are over-involved, overprotective, but put pressure on their kids to perform and act as a parent coach. Coaches find that the most challenging relationship to manage is their relationship with parents of their athletes. Parents focus on the process of improvement, buy into the philosophy of the coach, react positive regardless of outcome, and support attitudes and efforts over stats and wins. To create the best relationship with parents, coaches should focus on collaborating, being transparent, and understanding parent expectations. When focusing on interpersonal skills, we can respect the cooperation of your support team and all who follow your team. We learn many interpersonal skills to be successful in working with others. The author uses the 4 points of a compass to point you in the right direction in developing and maintaining successful relationships. Knowing and trusting yourself and others is number one. Duke University's men's basketball coach K said, almost everything in leadership comes back to relationships. The only way you can possibly lead people is to understand people. And the best way to understand them is to get to know them better. Communicating effectively looks like listening to demonstrate respect, build relationships, increase knowledge and loyalty. Accepting and supporting others. To build relationships, we must not only be open with others, but also open to them. You communicate acceptance by being a good listener. Resolving conflict. Conflicts are often seen as negative events, but managed, they can give you a great deal of value by clarifying problems, encouraging change, and leading to better solutions. My first research finding: coaches today have an enormous responsibility. In addition to meeting the needs of their athletes, coaches must meet the expectations of the programs they represent. They must also be engaged with and answer to parents who, with exceptions and desire to be involved. Research has shown that parents, along with coaches, peers, and siblings, play an important role in athletes' prolonged sports participation. This approach departs from my way or the highway model of coaching, in which the coach is considered the expert and the parents are expected to accept coaching and club decisions without question or explanation. Instead, the relationship between coach and parent is seen as a process of social negotiation that engages the experience of a child. A study of junior tennis players revealed that 59% of coaches believe that parents contributed to the success of their children. A coach who shares an articulate and reflective approach philosophy with parents, both verbally and in writing, has taken an important step in helping parents understand their behavior. The philosophy statement should articulate what the coach and program values and believes. The statement also is informed by a program philosophy. A coach's personal philosophy should be congruent with that of the program in order to avoid surprises and conflicts in later relationships. The purpose of my second study was to understand the nature of a coach-parent relationship with Canadian competitive figure skaters. The data was collected using individual semi-structured interviews with 12 mothers of competitive figure skaters and 12 coaches. These findings indicated that parents described a range of experiences of coach and parent relationships from negative to distant, positive and enjoyable, while coaches described their experiences mostly positive and enjoyable, but with potential for a relationship to be challenging and contentious. Participants' descriptions of their experience clustered around three configurations, including collaborative, coach, athlete, and contractual. These studies highlight the unique features of coach-parent relationships in Canadian competitive figure skating, including different ways that parents and coaches relate with one another, and draws parallels with other relationships in sports. Understanding the coach-parent relationship not only extends the extent literature on interpersonal relationships in sports, but is also important for facilitating positive youth sport environments and youth development in competitive sport. My last study looked at how coaches can utilize parents to optimize youth athletic sports experience. Individuals, including youth athletes, have three basic psychological needs: autonomy, competence, and relatedness, outlined by self-determination theory. Social agents such as coaches and parents help satisfy these needs. Coaches, as well as fathers and mothers, can independently and interactively satisfy youth athletes' basic needs by providing autonomy, support, and tasks involving motivation climate. It is essential for coaches to understand this is not only better for youth athletes that they coach, but also educate parents who have influence over young athletes. Coaches should listen and communicate with parents about their youth athletes, and together as a team, work to give youth athletes the best chance of success. Many of the traditional problems that occur between parents and coaches can be avoided when coaches hold a preseason parent meeting and maintain the open lines of communication. This should include a preseason meeting, introducing staff, discussing rules and expectations. During the season, there should also be parent email, social media group, or group me. Encourage parents to communicate concerns or information of value, and contact them if any serious problems occur. After the season, invite each parent to evaluate you and the program. After reading Chapter 19, I've learned more about how to manage relationships by focusing on 4 interpersonal skills, as well as how to work effectively with my fellow coaches, administrators, athletic trainer, parents, and media. My research findings were harder to unfold than I thought, honestly. I did find many articles to share on my references, though, that are great strategies to creating positive relationships as coaches with parents. My discussion questions are: Figure 19.4 in Chapter 19 shows the inner circle of important relationships for coaches. Please share with me who you think is the most important person to have a relationship within your inner circle. What does your postseason meeting look like for you as a coach? Who's involved? What do you like or dislike about these meetings? And lastly, what parts of the presentation did you particularly find insightful and why? Here are my references. Thank you for listening to my presentation.